Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. Right now, we're going to talk about what's making you sick. Now, this is a challenge. I've been in practice a long time. My 38-year anniversary is coming up. And we get patients sometimes, and we just can't figure out why they're not getting all the results they want. So we can do the best chiropractic care in the world. We can give them the best supplements, the best stomach manipulations to get their digestive system working. And they're just not getting 100%. Now, we can't fix everybody. There's no promises or guarantees that we can fix anybody. And I've had, people say, well, Dr. Joe, I heard you on the radio and you sound like you're brilliant. And I came to you and I only got 85% results. There's also limitations of matter, no matter how good you are. I said, the guy who did it in one shot, he wore sandals. That was 2,000 years ago. I'm not that good. So we have to say there may be limitations of matter. Your body is incapable of healing. Maybe it is arthritis. Maybe the ligaments are weak. Maybe you have permanent nerve damage. Maybe you had traumatic brain injury. So we try to do everything we can to get the best results possible. We have 6 doctors. So the nice part is we consult with each other on those tough cases. Listen, I can't figure out Joe's case. I don't know what to do with it. What do you think? Well, did you check his stomach? Oh, I didn't do that. Check his psoas muscle. Maybe it's a foot injury. I was at the radio station earlier with one of my coworkers, and he took his shoe off. And he said, look at this. He's developing a bunion. So I adjusted his feet for him. And he said, oh my God, I can stand better. This is weird. It feels like I'm walking crooked. I said, no, you're walking straight. So we do everything we can to get the best results possible. But then we may have to look outside our realm. And it could be your house. It could be your office. It could be your car. I have several patients actually. They came out with new uniforms for this one major airline. And they looked nice. And people started getting sick. A lot of people started getting sick. There was some chemical in these uniforms that made them sick. And of course, the company said, no, you have to wear them. You have to wear them. They had them cleaned. They had them washed. They had them dry cleaned. Something in these uniforms were making the flight attendants sick. And eventually they discontinued the uniform and went back to the old ones, I think it was. So that was a weird thing because nobody could figure out what it was, but it happened across the board to flight attendants all around the world. What do they have in common? They live in different parts of the world. They fly at different times. They have different socioeconomic classes. They all wore the same uniform. So that was a social diagnosis there, and they eventually got back to it. So we wanted to always try to get to the cause of your problem and not just treat the symptoms. And sometimes it takes a little more investigation. But you can help us as a patient or just as a listener, who I hope you become a patient, by looking at certain things. And the big one that I see is mold. Spores can cause stuffy nose, cough, sore throat, itching. If you react to mold, lung problems, weak immune system, and these spores can lead to serious lung infections. Mold grows where there's moisture. So if you have a leaky pipe and wall and a roof, if you live in a basement that's damp, you can use air conditioning or dehumidifiers to keep the humidity levels under 50%. Under 50% humidity, the mold has a real tough time growing. If you have mold, clean it with soap and water, or you can use a cup of household bleach to a gallon of water, but you always want to get to the source of the mold. There's mold in the air around us right now. But if there's a source, if there's a damp place where the mold can settle in and then start to multiply, make little mold babies, it's going to keep growing. And so you might have a leak inside your wall. And you know that musty smell. And it's interesting. A friend of mine lived up on a lake. And the houses were right near the water, and it was really nice. And people around the lake died a lot. And I always wondered, I never had proof of this, it's just my opinion, it's just a little anecdote here. I wonder, because the houses all had a certain smell to them, because they were really right next to the water. And I always wondered if it was a mold issue. And I told people who lived up there, get your house inspected. You can do mold tests. Somebody will come out and do mold tests for you. And we had a doctor work in our office one time, and she swore that there was mold in the office because she was sick all the time, and she wasn't sick until she started working here, and she was a real pain in the butt. And so we went ahead and hired a company. They came out, tested everything. They found 0 mold. So it wasn't the office. So I suspect it was somewhere else in her life if it really was mold. You could have mold in your car. Every time you get in your car, if the car got moldy and it has a leak somewhere, mold can grow in your car, in your house, on your clothes. I remember going to high school with a guy, and he lived on a boat in the Passaic River. And he actually had green scalp. So he had mold growing on his own body. That's how bad it was. But he lived on a boat in a river. So he had mold. So just be careful around mold. If you think you have mold, if you see mold, it's pretty clear it's mold. Get a test done. If it's there, you have to get it fixed. You can't just cover it up. You can't just close the door behind it. You have to get it fixed. Now, there's another thing that can make you sick in your house or in your office. It's called radon. Rock and soil release radon. They all do. It is what it is. There's a little in the air around us, but it's not dangerous until it's trapped. Radioactive particles, they are radioactive, cause damage when you breathe them in or if you swallow them. It gets into buildings through cracks and holes in the walls, around plumbing and wiring. You can't smell or see radon, but a simple test, you can do it. That's why it's a good idea to have a radon detector in your house. You can buy them for a few dollars, and the radon is being released. Now, what's interesting, if you have granite countertops, it's probably releasing radon. Not a lot, probably isn't going to kill you, but if you build a house on rocks, many times this radon is being released. So get a radon detector. They're real cheap. I had one in my house forever, and it's no big deal. It's never gone off. No radon. Safe. If it goes off, then you got to figure out what to do. And there are companies that'll build barriers to keep the radon gas out and things like that. But your house may be getting your building where you work may be getting you sick. Don't always think it's your house. Your building can be releasing radon too where you work. I am not a fan of carpets. My house, I have no carpets in my house. I have a little one at the entryway, and I have one outside my shower, and I think that's it. Whole house is hardwood and tile. That is the healthiest way to go. If you have a choice, do not have carpets in your house. They are disgusting. They trap dust, mold, dust mites, dirt, other irritants. And when you vacuum or walk on them, guess what? You release them into the air. The chemicals used to make and install carpets can be bad for you. So that's why I said hardwood flooring. If you have to put rugs, use throw rugs that you can wash. The companies, you can buy them now and just wash them, or get them cleaned outside the home. Now, if you're going to do hardwoods, make sure they're pre-finished hardwoods. Because if you put down hardwoods and then they sand them and stain them, that can outgas. That's when it's releasing chemicals for up to 6 months. You know that new home smell? You walk into a brand new house, say, oh, it smells like a new house. That's toxic. Smells like a new car. Toxic chemicals. So that's why pre-finished hardwoods are going to be a much better choice. Tile is fine, of course, right away. And make sure your tile is sealed. Locks water from getting in, but it also prevents any radon or gases from getting out. So make sure you seal it off. If you have the opportunity, get rid of carpets. When you do your bed sheets, wash your bed sheets in hot water. Wash your mattress cover. Every time you do the bed sheets, you should wash the mattress cover. So I have two. One can be in the laundry, one can be on the bed. Because your sweat, your stink, your mold, your little parasites can build up in the mattress cover, and then every time you sit on the mattress, whoop, they released into the air. Wash your underwear in hot water. Anything that's going to come close contact to your body, I recommend hot water. Because hot water can kill viruses, germs, bacteria, fungus. If you're always washing everything in cold, you don't have that opportunity. But I've had people just keep getting reinfected like women with urinary tract infections. I said, well, how do you wash your underwear? Cold water. Well, use hot water. Well, I don't want to wear them out. Use hot water. And they did, along with chiropractic care and good nutrition and supplements, the UTIs went away. That was the thing that changed everything. So underwear, hot water, sheets, hot water. Yes, they might wear out a little sooner. It's the cost of health. It's a healthcare cost. So be careful with that. And that's why even with carpets, if you have little throw carpets or something, wash them periodically. It's really important to do that. In what? Hot water. Pretty important. If you have cockroaches in your house, well, guess what? Probably we all do. They're everywhere. When they poop and their little parts of their body settle into dust on the floor, the bedding, the furniture, and when you breathe in those irritants, it can trigger allergies and breathing problems, including asthma. So it helps to keep your house clean and dry, especially fabrics and carpet, of course. But if you see cockroaches, what I do is I get little roach traps, and I put the roach traps out because then they'll eat it, and they'll take it back to the colony in the wall, and it'll kill it off. I don't like violence. I don't like to kill things. However, if it has to do with my health and my family's health versus cockroach, I've made a decision. And so you can do whatever you want to do, but they're more than just unsightly and scary. They actually can carry particles that are released into the air. So could your house or your office be getting you sick? Absolutely. And that's why restaurants, of course, I think all restaurants have cockroaches somewhere. That can be an issue as well. It gets into the air. So that's why it's a good idea to keep the windows open as often as you can. I love opening my windows. I like the feeling of it, but if there's a day or an opportunity I have, I open my windows. If you're going to run your air conditioner all the time, that's another option, but make sure you change the filter on a regular basis. It's going to save electricity and save the air conditioner, but it's also going to filter out better particles. And get a little higher-end filter. Don't get the little $2 ones, whatever they are. They don't work very well, and you don't want to just blow the particles around. So we're talking today about what's making you sick. Now, new car smell. Everybody loves that new car smell. You go to the car wash and they want to spray your car with air freshener, hang an air freshener in the window. Don't do it. Those chemicals are phthalates. Phthalates are endocrine disruptors. They mess with your hormones. So if you're going to use something as a scent, I recommend natural essential oils only. Don't use anything else but essential oils because they're usually chemicals, and they'll even have these little things you plug into the wall, and it makes your house smell nice. They say made with essential oils. Made with essential oil and pure essential oil are two different things. Made with is they might have put a drop or two of essential oil in there. All pure essential oil, much better choice. You can get a little ring. You can put it on top of a light bulb, and every time you turn a light bulb on, it releases some essential oils. You can get a diffuser. Those are much better choices if you have to use something in your house. I do not recommend ever chemical sprays, the new car smell, new carpet smell, new house smell. Those are all chemicals that are not good for you. And so if you do have to do something, like even use bleach to clean mold or something like that, please open the windows, air it out, wear a mask, a good ventilator mask, and then get out of the house. Let the house air itself out. Don't be sleeping in bleach. It's not good for you. Don't be sleeping in toxic cleaning chemicals. Not good for you. And that's why you see people that even work in dry cleaning companies or chemical companies many times have these other sicknesses that they got just from being at work. So it's not necessarily just radon. It could be the chemicals you're using at your work. So use natural cleaners. You can just look up natural cleaners. It's real easy. Window cleaner is white vinegar and water, 50-50. Spray it on. Works great. So there's a lot of things you can do naturally. Now, sometimes you need a little oomph. You need a little chemical in your life if you want to get something done. So if that's the case, like let's assume you have a pot you're trying to clean or something like that, or a oven cleaner. Take it outside. Spray it. Let it spray outside. Oven cleaner is very, very, very toxic. So if you have to clean a pot or something like that with oven cleaner, just do it outside. Okay? Much better for you, better for the environment, better for your family. Carbon monoxide is another thing that might be getting you sick. Furnaces, fireplaces, water heaters, dryers, cars, they can all put out this gas that you can't smell or see. It can be deadly if it's not vented outside, and it can build up in your home. So you can install carbon monoxide detectors as well, and if they go off, there's something wrong. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning is headache, shortness of breath, blurry vision, feeling dizzy, confused, weak, nauseated. If you start feeling that in your house, get outside immediately and get a carbon monoxide detector. Now, I love an attached garage. Greatest thing. You go from your house to your car, get in the car, open the garage door, drive off, close the door, go out, go away. I always say one of the greatest inventions in my life is the automatic garage door opener. I think it's great. But if you do that, don't back into your garage, because when you start your car, all the fumes are going to go out. Put your exhaust pipe near the door. Open the door first. Start your car and pull out immediately. Leave the door open for a few minutes if you can, and then close it, because those toxic chemicals can get into your house. And I know a lot of houses have a garage and a bedroom above them. So if you back into the garage, start the car with the door closed, then open the door and pull away, all those chemicals are venting right up into the bedroom above you. So be careful about that. That's something you don't usually think about. I know you like to back into your garage. It's easy to pull out. Not a good idea. Those chemicals are there. We're talking today about your environment. Is your environment making you sick? Now, if your body is not as healthy as it could be, some things that may not affect you are going to affect you. For example, a little bit of carbon monoxide. Maybe your body can deal with a little bit. But if you're sick, a little bit might be too much. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, headaches, numbness, tingling, radiating pain, sciatica, muscle weakness, these are signs that the nervous system is not working at 100%. And it's almost always due to a pinched nerve. And if a bone is pinching a nerve, it can hurt. But here's the thing. 90% of your nerves don't feel pain. You can have a pinched nerve and not know it. So, for example, you don't feel your blood pressure. It's controlled by nerves. You don't feel your spleen, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your hair grow. So my concern when I see patients is not only when they come in for pain, my team of doctors are trained to check the nerves that don't feel pain. And the reason is if we take you on as a patient, we don't want to get you out of pain. We want to get you well. So we check the nerves that feel pain and the nerves that don't feel pain. Then we do a nutrition evaluation on all our patients. We give you paperwork to take home with you. If you don't bring it back for us to evaluate, we can't go over it with you. Had a patient the other day, so mad. Dr. Joe, I didn't get my nutrition evaluation. Did you bring in the paperwork? No. Okay. Once again, goes back to the show we did recently on personality disorders. Take a breath. Think about it. Maybe it's me that's causing the problem. So we do a nutrition evaluation on everybody. We try to get the right nutrients in the body, the right supplements, the right food, healthy nervous system. Now you're going to be healthier so that little things that might have, rocked your world earlier aren't going to do it so much. So if you want to make an appointment to come see us, if you have health issues, neck pain, back pain, headaches, if you've ever been in a car accident, ever, if the car was damaged, you were damaged. That's my experience. The car was damaged, you were damaged. You need to come see us immediately. If you have a health condition, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain for more than 3 days, and it's been lasting, come see us. Stop suffering needlessly. The biggest complaint I get is, Dr. Joe, why didn't I come see you guys sooner? And my answer is, I don't know. So if you want to make an appointment, we have in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We would love to be your doctors. So you can make an appointment, drjoe.com, drjoe.com, and you can book it right online. You can call us. The phone number's all over the website, and we're happy to set it up for you. We accept almost every insurance known to man. There's one or two we don't. Usually the first visit is $720. We've reduced that to $299. So if you want to come in, you want to take advantage of that, we're not going to do that forever. We've run specials in the past, and we stopped running them, and people go, what happened? I said, well, I tell you to do it now. You can book the appointment online. With that, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-rays, first treatment. On the second visit, going over all the findings, including the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. Nutrition evaluation alone is $150, so why not just get it all done? And then we'll put together a treatment plan that we think is best for you. And we'll discuss everything. We'll discuss your insurance. If you don't have insurance, probably 50% of our patients don't have insurance. Chiropractic is the most effective, least expensive treatment as a portal of entry for healthcare in most cases. We can always escalate the care. We have a medical division. We can do injections, PRP, pain management. I'm board certified in pain management. We can always escalate it to physical therapy, surgery. But why go to that extreme when in many cases the extreme isn't what you need? You need something much more down to earth. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. We'd love to see you. When I talk about supplements, the minimum supplements I believe everybody should be taking are Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. They're 2 powders. They taste great. So I would recommend you get Super Greens and Essential Source as part of your diet every single day. Very inexpensive, very potent. I do recommend vitamin D. None of us get enough vitamin D, especially in the winter. I recommend vitamin D. We have a drop, vitamin D with vitamin K2, which is important to have the two together. That 5 drops a day. It's pennies a day, literally pennies a day to keep your vitamin D levels up. And it's shown everything from brain function to immunity to bone health. Vitamin D is like the master supplement that people just aren't getting enough of. And then there's other things. Digestive enzymes. I take a digestive enzyme every time I eat a cooked meal. Helps me digest my food. I take B-complex. I take adrenal support for my adrenal glands. I take men's hormone support. As I'm getting older, I want to make sure I'm building up my hormones in my body normally. I take omega-3 fatty acids for my brain, but we can customize a plan for you. But if you go to the website, drjoe.com, you can see the store. Just look at all the supplements. It explains what each one does. I can't imagine not taking supplements every day. I don't know why people don't. All right, other things that might be getting you sick. We talked about your carpets. How about your curtains? Dust mite, mold, mildew. Wash them in hot water if you can. Get them, bring them to a dry cleaner if you have to. If you bring something to a dry cleaner and they dry clean it, leave it out to air out. Don't put them right back in your room and it smells like a dry cleaner. Those chemicals can be toxic as well. But think about this. How old are the curtains in your house? Have you ever cleaned them? It's probably time you do. Household cleaning products we touched on earlier. These things can be very toxic. It can irritate your eyes, your throat, headaches. They contain something called volatile organic compounds. Ammonia and bleach. Never, if no one's ever told you this, mix ammonia and bleach. Don't put bleach in a toilet and then pee in it. because pee has ammonia in it. When bleach and ammonia come together, very toxic chemical, and it could knock you out quickly and even kill you if it's enough mixed together. So don't ever mix ammonia and bleach. That's a stupid thing some people do. Not stupid. I'm going to say ignorant, but not in a bad way. Ignorant meaning you didn't understand. I said earlier, you have to change your heating and air units. The systems change the level of humidity in the air, but you can build up dust and germs and mites in the vents and in the filter. Make sure it's properly installed. Make sure it's properly serviced. You can even try getting a HEPA filter, HEPA filter, and that removes the small particles in the air. A little more expensive, but really worth it. And it can build up dust, and that can clog up the filters. Pests like mice and rodents can make their homes in there if you don't run it enough. So spend a little bit of money on a really good filter. It's really worth it, especially if you run your heating and air units a lot. I know a lot of people run them all the time, and even some buildings, you can't open the windows. You know, my Marietta office, I think the Duluth office too, Stockbridge too, West Cobb. Yeah, we don't have any windows that open. We just have the front door. So that's why you want to make sure you're getting a good high-quality filter when you have that. Now, my house, I have windows I can open, so I open windows every time I can. And then also, if you have an older house, if you're going to do renovations, and I think this is the law anyway, was it before 1978? Before 1978, they allowed lead in paint. And if you're going to scrape that lead paint, you're going to have to do it with hazmat suits and make sure it's done by somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't just have the guy up the street come in and scrape the paint off because it can release a lot of toxic chemicals in there. So these are just some things that we talk about. Water filters. I think everybody should have a water filter in their house. I have a whole house water filter. I use a company. It's called PurelifeWaterGA.com. PurelifeWaterGA.com. Tell them I sent you. And when I did my research, they seem to have the best one. It's not cheap. I have a whole house water filter. It was a couple $1,000, but worth it. I have people come to my house and say, "What's different about your water? It tastes different." No, it doesn't taste like anything. Oh, that's what it is. But when I shower, when I bathe, when I clean my house, when I flush the toilet, when I run water, I want to make sure all the water doesn't have chlorine gas evaporating into the air. Fluoride can be toxic, and chlorine and fluorine can affect your thyroid gland. So there's a lot of chemicals in tap water. Again, it's little amounts, but the average life, I think I figured out one day, 26,960 days, I think it was. That's all we have. And lately, I've had a lot of people around me passing away. And when you're there at the casket, you think, wow, what could have made this life better? Maybe longer. Well, had they taken better care of themselves? Maybe not. You hit by a car, you can't do that. But I've had a lot of people in my life, friends, family, patients, listeners, that die, and it's because they just didn't take good care of themselves. And I can't tell you how many patients come to us as a last-ditch effort. Dr. Joe, I should have listened to you 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I didn't. What do I do now? What can you do to help me? Sometimes we can, sometimes it's too far gone. Limitations of matter. So if you're serious about wanting to be proactive about your health, come see us. We're happy to meet with you. Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We can set you up an appointment, usually within a day or two, which is nice. First visit, usually $720. Now it's $299. We're running this for a short period of time. That's exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over your findings, and a complete nutrition evaluation. So if you're serious about wanting to get well, we'll coach you through nutrition. We'll coach you through health. We'll recommend supplements for you that we think might be good for you. You can do it online, drjoe.com. Also, follow us on social media. My handle is @DrJoeEsposito. Joe, my producer, posts almost every day. @DrJoeEsposito. The website, again, drjoe.com. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends about the show.